Welcome to Rising Tides Live. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. We are back. I'm back, United States, in California, in San Diego. I was in Bulgaria for 6 weeks, and we are grateful for this community for showing up on all the platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, we appreciate you. We want you to be a part of the conversation. We've been doing this Rising Tides Live show for almost, I think, 5 years now. Started on the social audio app Clubhouse, moved to LinkedIn audio. Now we stream on multiple platforms. We do it every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. London time, wherever you are in the world. We want to hear your story. We want to know what you're working on. We are a community of storytellers, hospitality professionals, people that love technology, and we're grateful that you guys are listening, and we're grateful that you're here. Let's go ahead and bring up the community. Today we got a special episode. It's Ask Me Anything. So usually I'm the one asking the questions, so you guys can ask me questions, but it's not just precluded to me. If you have a question for anyone in the community, put it in the chat. We are all an open book, but let's go ahead and get started with some introductions. Elizabeth Doss, who are you? What are you working on a Wednesday? Great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you so much. I realized I was unmuted that whole time. Okay. No, doing great. My name is Elizabeth Doss. I am a social media consultant, but I mainly operate in the realm of animated GIFs, helping brands and businesses have their own animations that are searchable within GIF search so that you can respond quickly with content that is branded to you and your brand, and also to harness that thought leadership and hopefully to bring some joy along the way. Today, what am I working on? Trying to get caught up. Got back from helping lead at a youth camp, teaching creativity through spiritual life, and had a great time with a bunch of young people and saw some really great breakthroughs in get them being able to express themselves and work through, get some tools to deal with anxiety, etc. So it's been an amazing trip, but I am whooped because there's no air conditioning. It rained most of the time. It was a hot mess on top of all those things. So just trying to get caught up on all the things. So yeah. And are we starting, or are we gonna keep going?
Yeah, we can start. Yeah, let's start. And this is an open conversation today. So
sweet.
Go ahead.
So when I was thinking about this, Shawn, you host amazing conversations with, people that, names that everybody recognizes, with really successful people. Then there's also, the little guy that you bring into it, always bringing these groups together, which I love, but realizing that I have questions for you. So that's where this Ask Shawn came from. And so I think everything's fair game today, whether you want to ask Shawn about his trip to Bulgaria, or you want to ask about his family that's from there, or whether you want to ask about restaurant stuff, toast stuff, media stuff, podcast stuff. Everything is fair game today. Ask Shawn anything. So my question today for Shawn is one of my favorite phrases of yours that I try to reiterate with even my own clients is be the show, not the commercial. And I'm finding it difficult to get people out of that mindset of sell, or they have to show up a certain way that they think they've gotten this thing stuck in their head. And I know that a lot of times you're working with clients, onboarding them on the media side of things. And what are some of the ways that you help people bridge the gap from embracing just go live or just show up as yourself? Because the whole point is that the more we show up as ourselves, the more people get to know us and our community. So when they meet us in person, that trust is already built. It's not two separate people. You're actually doing that. So I guess boiling down my question is be the show, not the commercial. How do you start the process with your media clients or restaurants you're working with, different people, to switch their mindset from what they think they need to do to what actually is connecting with their community?
Great question. I think it's probably one of the biggest challenges. That's why we do all the work that we do. That's why we believe in storytelling. I mean, I remember early on, one of my biggest fears, going all in on barbecue and, meeting with Gene Goycochea. We were a breakfast restaurant in the beginning. So we were great at doing breakfast. We added the sports bar. We were great at hosting sporting events. But we threw a Spring Valley tailgate and barbecue festival. I reached out to a gentleman by name Gene Goycochea. He was the expert. He's the one that spent his life studying the craft of barbecue, learning about professional competitions, learning about all these things that I didn't know. So I was, me and my team, we were just a sponge. And I remember once we started getting traction for Spring Valley Tailgate Festival and for the restaurant, for the barbecue that we were cooking, I had this huge imposter syndrome of like, I can't go on and talk about barbecue because I don't know enough about barbecue. And like, I would have Gene would come on camera and he would talk and he did a great job. But like, the more that I realized people wanted to hear from me of like, well, why are you doing it? Like, why are you deciding to put on a charity event in front of your restaurant and spend months, if not years, planning and organizing and getting, the local planning departments and the CHP, the California Highway Patrol and the fire department and getting all these permits to shut down the street? Like, why are you doing it? And that's when I realized, well, Gene could talk about it, but like, he's part of the story. They actually want to hear from me. So getting in front of the camera, sounding stupid, looking stupid, feeling scared, feeling nervous, putting in the reps, I started to get a little bit of confidence, started to get a confidence because like, why were we doing it? It's a shitload of work. Like, it was significant amount of work to 10 years shut down the street in front of our restaurant. Steven's shaking his head because he knows like it was so much work to do. Like, what people really wanted was like, well, why are you doing it, Shawn? Like, not only why are you doing it, why are you bringing all these people together to do it? And that's what I try to convey with the clients is, take a restaurant owner, for example. A restaurant owner, they want to sell their burgers or they want to sell their pizza. That's great. Everyone has a pizza place. Everyone has a burger place wherever you live. There were pizza places and burger places in Bulgaria. So, I know anywhere on earth there's pizza and burger places. But so much of why we connect to people is like, well, why did you open it? It's like, why did you do it? There are lots of pizza places. There are lots of burger places. There are lots of barbecue places. But like, why did you do it? And then the more that it was not just me, but like bringing other people in, like my wife and Eric, and bringing Steven into the storytelling. Like, it's taken us a long time to get out of our own way and be like, buy the tailgater, buy peach cobbler, buy this, buy this, buy this. And it's like, we don't go onto social media to be sold to. That's why I share the story that I do all the time about my son and my daughter. Like, when my son was young and I watched him interact with a digital tool and watch YouTube Kids, like, no one wants to be interrupted with an advertisement. Does that mean I'm against advertising? Absolutely not. But I believe in storytelling, and that's why we do these communities. That's why we participate the way that we do. And understanding, I think that's probably one of the things that I like the most is like asking questions. Like, the more that I'm
Hey, Shawn, I think we've lost audio from you. Can people hear me?
Shawn, I think you muted yourself by accident. There you go.
Okay.
well, yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Oh, I heard you for a second and you're gone again.
I think, Shawn, your mic is connecting, disconnecting. It might be best to just go non-mic so it doesn't keep muting you by accident. That could be the best bet.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Well, there we go. That's the story. The story is you need a mic to be heard. About that. Whatever I said was really good. I felt it. I was excited about it. Great question, Elizabeth.
It was really, really good. Anyway.
That was fantastic. Appreciate it. Bruce, who are you? What are you working on? And what's your question for me or question for anyone in the community?
Sure. I'm Bruce Nelson. I am a fractional CFO stationed in the Twin Cities, Minnesota. Right now, I am working on a new product launch group of services coming out next Wednesday. But really, I think the exciting thing, and I learned this from this community, is I've actually have a tele account. I am recording videos. If you're following me on some of the socials, I'm actually putting things out there, and that's very, very new for me. So we'll see where that goes. I think
What
it's
kind
going
of
to be huge.
account? What kind of account did you say, Bruce? A tele?
I went to a tele. It's a kind of an app to do recording. I don't know if anybody else has used it, but
a tele.
Well, it's kind of interesting. You can I like it because I can record it records me, but it'll stack up clips. So if I screw up something, I just start another clip and it pieces it all together. So I don't have to go back and do one take. Because that was freaking me out. I couldn't do it. So anyway, I'm hoping that's going to also feed into some online courses that I want to launch in September too. Now that I'm conquering that technology. So very much thank you to this community for encouraging me to do that, because I didn't want to.
Where are you posting them, Bruce?
Substack and LinkedIn right now.
Awesome. Sweet. Fantastic.
Yeah. Substack is the one I'm really pushing to get more restaurants following all the restaurant people that are starting to show up on Substack. So I'm hoping that becomes a really good community, because it gives us a chance to do long form, both videos and articles, where a lot of times the other social media is nobody's going to read 1,500 words on LinkedIn, but they will on Substack.
Yep. So true. Any questions for me or the community?
Oh, Shawn, I got one for you. We all know your story now with Cali Barbecue and Media. What was Shawn before this? Why did you get in the restaurant business?
Good question. This is that's Shawn at 13. So that's me washing dishes at the restaurant that I now own. But yeah, no, I mean, to be honest with you, in the beginning, I wanted to be in sports entertainment. I thought I was going to be an attorney. I applied to go to law school. I got rejected by all 3 law schools here in San Diego. I actually have my framed rejection letters right here, right in my office that I've kept. But yeah, no, I thought that I was going to be somewhere in sports entertainment, and I found a way to still be involved in sports entertainment, building a sports bar, doing stuff like catering for the Chargers. Now we have, we're selling barbecue at Snapdragon Stadium, where, our new San Diego FC team is playing, our MLS Major League Soccer team is playing. So I found ways to incorporate my love for sports into the hospitality and sports. But yeah, that was the goal when I was younger.
It sounds good. Hey, our Ludes, I think, just played San Diego. Was it last week?
Really? Did you win?
I think we did.
There you go. I haven't been following. I've been a bit busy, but I am going to the game on Friday. So
yeah, it's fun. I've enjoyed the addition to that league in this market.
That's amazing. Before we go, I do have a question for Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, you're on the hot seat. I need to know what are you using? What AI are you using, and how are you using it today? Like, for knowing this community, the amount that I learned about AI while I was in Bulgaria, because I actually had space to spend more time with ChatGPT, I'm really excited about it. I'll probably not ever stop talking about it, but for you and your workflow, how are you using it best?
Yes. So I am using a couple of different ones, but ChatGPT mainly, and I do pay for the first tier level because then you're not limited, and it can help create images for you. So
And it saves memory.
Yes. And there's that perpetual memory thing, and you can set up projects and you can add files to those projects. So for my different clients, I kind of have like a cheat sheet in the ideas section of each project file, so it knows when I'm in that folder, we're talking about that client, and it's when I'm doing it outside of that, it's not talking about them. And so it really helps like organize that. I don't keep having to remind it who this person is or what their business is when I'm trying to create content. So for me, I am using when I'm doing video editing, Adobe Premiere, I'm using that text-based editing side, but I pull the transcript from that, and then I bring that into ChatGPT, my videos, and I say, write me a caption for this transcript. So that's one part of my workflow, is doing that. Creating thumbnails for my own show that we do on Tuesdays, I use I bounce between as far as creating images, because we kind of create these like extreme images. I'll use AI that's in Grok to create images. Same with ChatGPT. Canva has its own Canva Labs where you can create images there, just to have those surrealistic, like whimsical images. I'll use that side of stuff. So mine's probably a little bit more on the vanilla side of how much AI I'm using. But a good way to use ChatGPT is to ask it what AI does. If you have a specific function that you're trying to find out, see if there's an actual AI that does that for you. Also, Adobe Firefly is amazing if you need to create video that doesn't exist, and create things that don't happen as if they did happen, if you need that stock photo or video to be able to go through. Anyway, I'll hand it back to you, Shawn.
Amazing. Yeah, but we're working on updating our employee handbooks, and Howard and Steven have been working on like our welcome, who is Cali barbecue. Like, this is the first welcome document, and Howard gave it a first run through, and then I took that run through, made some edits, told ChatGPT about things that, like, things that customers might talk about that we don't do anymore. The Spring Valley Tailgate and Barbecue Festival, fight nights, watch parties, like all of these things that Steven's shaking his head because people ask about, and our new staff have no idea. They're like a deer in headlights. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So it's like our job to educate them and let them know, hey, this is a part of who we are. This is a part of our story. But helping refine that process by me feeding ChatGPT and then helping take that document that Howard had already worked on, we got a pretty good result. Steven Swiderski, you're up. Who are you? What are you working on a Wednesday?
Oh man,
Are you at Cali?
I'm here all day now that
Okay.
Eric is enjoying his vacation.
Steven's holding it down. I think I need to come see you today. I don't know if I have time, but yeah, I have time. I'll see you. We need to make videos together. This is a work chat.
We do have to make.
We need to
make a promotion for this new thing that I just got established for when I come back from vacation. We're gonna do trivia night with Cali Barbecue.
Oh yeah, you need to make that video with Vince, but I need to make a so anybody in the community, if you're going to the California Restaurant Show, I know Ian's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Troy Hooper is going to be there. Mike Ungaro is going to be there. But California Restaurant Show, Anaheim, that's coming up. Let me make sure. August 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I will be there on August 4th, which is a Monday. I'll be there all day. I'm speaking at noon. If anyone in this community is there, or you know anyone that's going to be at the show, I'm speaking on Monday. Troy's speaking on Tuesday. Ian, I believe you're going to be there all 3 days. But just a reminder, we show up in real life. And then the other place is going to be US Foods Show in, where is that going to be? August, Las Vegas. So those are 2 upcoming in-person events in the restaurant hospitality space for this community. Steven, go ahead. What's your question?
I
What's
don't know.
your question for me, Steven?
So from an ownership standpoint,
yes,
and the 17 years that you and Eric have ran this restaurant, what would be one big thing that you would have changed through your whole process?
Changed in the process?
Yeah.
Asking for help. Anyone in this community, you know that my grandfather taught me, stay curious, get involved, ask for help. Asking for help is just like, I say it to remind myself to ask other people. I just heard Cam on our team just repurposed an interview that I did with Rob Deerdeck. And for those that know Rob Deerdeck of MTV, he built this incredible media company. He sold it for $190 million. Now he's investing in other companies. But I had a chance to interview him for Restaurant Influencers. It was a phenomenal interview, but Cam cut it for 5 minutes to talk about where him and I got into really nitty-gritty details about sponsorships, about how he was able to leverage his own sponsorships for his own shows. And like, it's just a reminder to me that there's so many other people. I mean, that's why we do podcasting. That's why I ask so many questions, why I interview so many people. It's like, ask for help. Like way back in 2008, I should have been asking for way more help. 2009, 2010, like Corey and I and Eric, we were just trying to do everything ourselves. And like, I mean, we didn't have artificial intelligence. We had Google, but like, there, you know, restaurantowner.com, Chris Tripoli, who joins us, he's part of this community. Like those were the tools that we went to because we didn't have the answers. So like, we all have to find those tools. And now we have tools like artificial intelligence is like deep research on a topic, like ask for help. Like whatever you're thinking about, like just ask and get, you know, multiple reference points and ask somebody else. All of those things, 100%. I would and I will. I'm saying that I would and I will continue to ask for help.
Now, can I spin that question with what I'm moving into, Shawn? Is
yes,
for the community. So can I break the news to the community what's going
Please.
on now?
I would love for you to break the news.
So I am moving into our assistant general manager position with Cali Barbecue. Thank you. It's been a lot of hard work and dedication. But with the community, I have a question of, from your guys' experience, what makes a great general manager or leader in your business, in day-to-day business, that I could take and apply here?
Are we asking the community?
I'm asking the community because
Beautiful.
I like feedback.
Laura,
I like to take
Laura,
notes.
you unmuted?
Yes. Oh my gosh, such a great question. Congratulations, Stephen. That's
Thank
so
you.
exciting and so needed. I work with a lot of restaurants, and having great leaders in the GM, assistant GM position makes or breaks a restaurant. And in my experience, in my career with my leaders, the ones who are available and responsive and help make decisions quickly and care about your customers as much as you do and can demonstrate that to your customers, that leadership genuinely cares, as I know that you do and all of the leaders at Cali Barbecue do. But whatever you can do to just keep the focus on, you know, supporting your team, making them know that you have their back and that you truly care and that you're available for them when they reach out, and somehow keeping that communication open and not allowing the demands of the job to get you so stressed out that you don't have capacity to be there for your team.
That's great. And one thing I do want to add is, like, Stephen, one of your strengths is that you also ask questions, but like, as people move up in the career path, there's times where we feel like, okay, I'm a leader, so I shouldn't ask questions, or like Shawn isn't going to respond, or like Eric's not going to respond to my text. But like, I would almost argue that the more that you move up, the more questions you should be asking, which is really weird to say, but like, that's the honest truth. It's like most people stop asking questions. Like, you know, if you have a question, like, you know that you can text me anytime, call me anytime.
Yeah.
And like, you have to continue to lean on that, because it's like, I don't expect you to know all this stuff because I don't know it. Like, yeah. I'm learning now as much as I know now, I didn't know back in 2008, but we're still learning it. So it's like, you have to continue to ask questions no matter where you are. And you have to encourage the staff to ask questions too, because like people aren't curious, and like you have to foster that environment where people actually want to ask questions and get rewarded for asking questions and not get penalized. And I'm saying that as a parent. I have, my kid, there's some crazy statistic that I heard on a podcast that I respect and admire, but it's like, as you grow, like from the time that you start talking to going through elementary school, high school, college, the amount of questions that you ask goes like this. And then you get to a certain point in your 20s where the curve just starts going down and down and down. So it's like, if you look at the lifetime of like normal human beings and how many questions they ask, eventually, like for whatever reasons, environmental, whatever, people stop asking questions. And like, we have to continue to ask questions.
Stephen, I will add, if I can, something else. I mentioned the importance of having that capacity to encourage and lead your team. I learned of something recently called the stable table. Has anyone heard this term? Stable table?
Story time.
No?
Stable table.
Okay. So we all know in a restaurant, a wobbly table is a terrible thing for guest experience. It can sometimes give the feeling that leadership isn't, or the team overall is not paying attention to detail and doesn't care about the guest having a great experience. But personally, we need to have a stable table, and the 4 legs of a stable table are sleep, nutrition, exercise or movement, and then mindfulness, mental health, stress relief, spiritual life. So making sure that every day we're checking in on how are we doing in our personal stable table so that we can show up and lead in a really positive and effective way.
Amazing. I love the stable table.
I love that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and if I could compound on that, I mean, basically, I've been an owner, operator, manager almost 20 years now, and acknowledging the good work that everybody does rather than reprimanding for the bad work, because you want to encourage good habits. So if one guy's late, but one guy was 20 minutes early, I kind of want to acknowledge the 20 minutes early and congratulate him. And maybe after work, he gets a beer on me for being early and being ready for work, or just making sure whatever the good habits and the good work that gets done, always acknowledge that. The reprimanding, if you reprimand all the time, it does nothing. If you reprimand every once in a while because something really, bad was happening or something that was a horrible habit, that it makes more of an impact. So that's been a big part of it for me.
That's amazing. That reminds me. Do you know what a gotcha is, Stephen? Gotcha.
Gotcha.
You wouldn't know, but I'm sharing it because Colleen and Mila at their school, they have gotchas. And they're not gotchas because you did something wrong. They're gotchas because you did something right. And like, restaurants can learn a lot from gotchas, because most managers live in a like, hey, I caught you doing something wrong. But like, the idea is that like, hey, I'm going to find you doing something right and reward you for doing something right to reinforce the behavior. Like, I appreciate the fact that you're always up front, and whenever the phone rings, you answer the phone, even though Shawn AI answers the phone. Like, those types of things. Like, how can you catch people doing good things? I got you doing something good. Go ahead.
There's a cool book, say How to Be a Great Boss, that taught you to put 3 pennies in your right pocket. And every time you compliment, oh, did I just steal that, Elizabeth? Sorry. Oh, okay. Every time you give somebody a compliment for doing something good at work, you take the penny from your right pocket and move it over to your left, so that, as the day goes along, make it a point to not leave work without finding something good that somebody had done throughout the day.
That's really good. And so last week at youth camp, each of the staff was given an epic card. And when we saw a gotcha, like Shawn is talking about throughout the week, we would give them a card, and they were divided into like houses, like Harry Potter, and they were competing all week to win that. But that card represented like 15,000 points or whatever. And so each of them, without them trying when they were doing something great, being kind, being appreciative, picking up water bottles or trash. We gave them an Epic card, and there's different incentives that you could give for that, where they could leave early. They don't have to do clean up or set up or whatever. Like, so there's different ways like throughout the week to say, hey, so-and-so won the Epic card for the week. They get to choose, from this whatever. But one thing I wanted to say is that listening factor that some of you all were talking about, and having a place where people can get ideas to you, I think is a really important way that people feel involved, whether it's an idea for a video for social media, whether it's an idea for streamlining something in back of house or front of house where they're seeing a lapse or something, but a way for those epic ideas or those ideas to flow to you, just creating a place from that, and then giving those kudos to say, hey, Lisa came up with this idea. This is how we're going to do the sauces from now on, because I think it'll streamline keeping it clean, keeping it ready to go. So anyway, just making sure you have a place that you can listen without them having to interrupt you in the middle of whatever it is that you're working on.
That's awesome. Good stuff, Elizabeth.
Yeah. I think one more thing on the train was with questions. If you're not asking questions, you're probably making assumptions, and those never go well. So make sure you're staying curious. Don't take things personally would be one of my biggest tips, because when you get into leadership, you're probably never going to make everyone happy, but you want to have enough of a pulse on what's going on to at least keep the majority happy with any decisions that you make. So those would be two of my top tips.
Awesome. Ian, why don't you go ahead and let us know who are you and what are you working on a Wednesday, and ask me or the community anything.
Yeah, I'm with EHS Recruiting. I recruit leadership talent both in California and nationwide for restaurants and hospitality companies. I guess for mine, a little bit of a throwback, but both for Stephen and Shawn, I think for this one, inspiration for your content. Where do you source it? What inspired you to get started on the social media journey? And then where do you get the most inspiration for like content ideas and things of that nature?
Great question. So much of where I draw inspiration from is other creators. There's people in not just in the restaurant space, but in all different spaces, sports, entertainment, leaders, speakers, Simon Sinek's of the world. For me, I'm always looking at storytellers and people that do a good job communicating, and how do they communicate and how do they share that story. Sometimes it's visual, sometimes it's just using words, sometimes it's just using texts. So for me, whether it's on Instagram where I'm saving things or sharing them with my team of like, hey, I like how this video was done, like let's recreate this type of inspiration. I do that a lot on Instagram. LinkedIn less so. YouTube, I'm starting to do it a lot more, thanks to working with Cam, just trying to find out other styles that we like. How do we make the videos tighter? How do we make the story move along faster? How do we try things that maybe I'm uncomfortable doing? We did that this week. I was uncomfortable filming 2 videos that we did for clients of ours, but that's part of the process. It's like, working our way through it to make a better video. We need to do more pre-production work. So figuring that stuff out, it's come a long way, to be honest with you. Traveling was a great place for me to find inspiration of like, I wanted to share stories of the food in Istanbul. I wanted to share stories about the people in Istanbul. I wanted to share stories about Bulgaria, about, a creator in Bulgaria that I found literally on Instagram. When he moved from UK, he came here. David was on our show. That kind of stuff is inspiring. And the fact that, as I know and everyone in this community knows, it's one DM away to, introduce yourself, say, hey, come on my podcast. Let's have a conversation. And now I'm going to be rooting for David, and I'll see him anytime that I go to Bulgaria, and whenever he goes anywhere in the world, like he's part of the community. That for me is the most inspiration. Stephen?
From the content side, we use a lot of the same similar things that Shawn does. Instagram, TikTok. We pretty much just find the fun videos from restaurants that are posting good content. We're just kind of revamping them and making them a lot more fun on our end, but also incorporating more of our staff, because the staff are here. They need to have more fun. They need to be more engaged in our social media videos. It just can't be me. I can't be the only person in the videos, because it just becomes more redundant seeing the same face over and over and over again. So me incorporating the staff that I have when we're filming, it gives them
get on so many roofs.
Yeah. I'm also only good at dancing to one thing, and that's the elevator music in my head in the walk-in. But I think having the staff in the videos, it gives them more of a purpose and allows them to have more fun with their job and not just taking care of tables. So that's my thing. I like to just give the staff a chance to be more involved in what we're doing.
Great question. Matty Smokes, who are you? What are you working on a Wednesday? And what's your question?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Matty Smokes, owner, operator, pitmaster, Matty Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving top-notch barbecue, Long Island, tri-state area, and owner, operator, chef at JJ Cooper's, Long Beach, New York. Wednesday afternoon, winding down. I had like 11, 12 parties last week. Probably served up about 1,500 people. So I'm actually just finally feeling good again. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy week last week.
A lot of people.
Yeah, it was. It was close to 98 hours of work last week.
Wow.
So that kind of brings me to my question to you, Shawn, is how do you balance it all? That's my problem is like, I try to delegate as much as I can left and right. But it's hard because in the restaurant things scale. 1 week we've got 1 million things going on. 1 week we have none. So I'm either paying labor to do nothing or I'm doing a ridiculous amount by myself. And then on the other hand, I got a family, wife, and 2 kids at home as well. And I'm trying to jump into this whole media thing on the side. And it's like, wow. So forget about, it's like a stove with 4 burners. You can't burn them all on high at the same time. Yeah. So how do you manage it?
I mean, I think probably the best thing that happened for me was becoming a dad, realizing that like those 90-hour, 80-hour, 7-day a week open closing restaurant shifts was like just not sustainable. I mean, by that point, I'd already been working in the restaurant. My son's 8. 10 years. It would have been a decade working in the restaurant, like just literally grinding it out, and figuring out like it sucks as an owner operator because we think like it's a badge of honor where it's like we're doing the work, but like the problem is that like we can't scale ever if we're doing the work. Like it's just it logistically it doesn't work, and now the more restaurant owners that I talk to that have 3 restaurants, that have 5 restaurants, that 50, like they have a team in place. And like when I look at our media company and I look at how many shows we do, why do we do so many shows? Because I have a team. I can't do that many shows. Like Mike is producing this show. Stover's on as a co-producer, but Mike's the lead producer. Like we used to just do this show off a Clubhouse, which was just an app. But like the only way that we've grown is that like I have to remove myself from dirt, even though I love being in the dirt because that helps me figure things out. And I have to get to the clouds and go, well, how can I remove myself from this equation? And I was talking to one of our clients that we launched a podcast for them and we're doing great work and they want to be involved in every step of the way of the process, which I told them I wanted that in the beginning too. I wanted to know what the title of the podcast was. I wanted to know what were the 3 clips of the podcast, what was the description going to be? And like, until I removed myself from that, there was no way I could get to 2 shows, let alone 3 shows, let alone, I don't even know how many shows that we do now. So it's like, figuring out what in your workflow can you delegate? It's like, where is your Steven? Like, who's your Steven that you can find and groom and talk to so that like, Matty Smokes doesn't always have to be there. Because like I'm in Bulgaria now and Steven and Derek Walls are going to Fox 5 and KUSI and like they're doing all the stuff. Like I don't have to be there. So it's like, figuring out what in your day-to-day can you do that like Does Maddie have to do the bank deposits? Does Maddie have to have the keys? He's the only one that has the keys to this thing or this system. Like, no, you got to figure out ways to get as much of that stuff off the plate so that you can actually, do the things that you want, to spend time with your kids, to work on the content. It doesn't mean that we're not going to work, because like we love it. We love working. That's what drives us. Hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah. Thank you.
You got it. Laura, you're up.
Good timing. Someone just came to the door and the dogs were going crazy.
Oh, perfect.
Laura Wilbur. I live in San Diego. I'm in the business of showing up for my restaurant clients and bringing friends. And by friends, I mean 21 million expense account diners, traveling for business, looking for great restaurants for dine-in, carry-out, catering, and private events. And this week I'm working on we just launched a team building guide. So I would ask the community if you know of any great spots that would make fun places for teams to get together for just having more fun at work. As I think most of you know, that's a huge priority for me at this stage in my career, and I believe for everybody in restaurants. And Stephen mentioned it, but you really got to make it fun so that people want to be there, the teams want to be there, and the guests can absolutely feel if there's a fun, upbeat, positive energy in the restaurant or not. So let me know if you know of any cool spots for team building anywhere across the US or Canada. And then also I want to say thank you to all of you for showing up as you always do here. I got the chance to moderate a panel for a volunteer organization that I'm involved with called LEAD, Leadership Exploration and Development for Emerging Leaders in Hospitality. It was in Dallas. And because of the practice that we all have here showing up together, I felt a lot more comfortable than I probably would have asking the questions. I even at the end closed it with a tip takeaway or a homework assignment. Amazing. So thank you for setting that bar. And that's another ask of the community. We are looking for a space here in San Diego or Orange County that would be appropriate to host one of these events, and consider these events to be mini conferences, like the conferences that we all go to. You're going to the California Restaurant Association show. There are typically, 2 or 3 speakers and then a panel. And all of the questions are designed, all of the content is designed to give emerging leaders in restaurants a chance to hear from leadership themselves how they got there. What advice do they have for other people who are growing in their career in hospitality? So this space was incredible in Dallas. It was the Ranch, owned by FB Society, Front Burner, used to be called Front Burner. But 100 people, bar, I think 2 bars on either side, but ideal location. So that's kind of the dream would be to find a space that could do 100 people. So if you can think of something like that in San Diego or Orange County, let me know. And then Shawn, for you, the question I have is, I know that your grandfather was a huge inspiration for you. I have taken on some of his quotes that you've shared with us over and over, which I appreciate so much. But who else in your life, and I know David Meltzer, your mentor, has also been a huge inspiration. What would you say for the community as far as people who inspired you to take all the risks that you have with Cali Barbecue Media and your commitment to smartphone storytelling? Because really you're the first person that introduced that to me personally, and it just makes so much sense. So where did you get your inspiration for smartphone storytelling and your role models to get you to get your start?
Yeah, I mean, outside of my grandfather, who I talk about a lot, my grandmother, who was a Japanese woman, she never married my grandfather, but she raised me. She's really where I draw so much of the hospitality, because she was Japanese. So it was so important for her to make people feel seen. So I remember as a little kid, like I would go to a friend's house on a play date to hang out with, my best friend, Jack. And every time I went, I had to bring the family something. Like I brought them a gift. And like, it was such a weird thing for Jack's parents. Like, why is this kid keep bringing a gift? But like, for her, it was important that they were, they were hosting me. So I had to go bring a gift. And like, that's something that I've always drawn on the hospitality side, like from my grandmother's standpoint. But when it comes to like, the digital storytelling, I think I was, sitting in my office across the street from the restaurant. I believe it was like 2017, right when we kind of were thinking about launching our first podcast, and cover of Entrepreneur magazine was Gary Vaynerchuk. First time I ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk. I love Entrepreneur magazine. I was like, Jason Pfeiffer's doing the story. He's the editor in chief. And I started reading about Gary believing in social media, like literally doing what I had done in a small business, but doing it for big brands, like believing in the power of Facebook, believing in the power of Instagram, believing in YouTube and social media, how business could get done. That would probably be one of my biggest, inspirations of like, is it possible for a restaurant to become a media company? Like, absolutely. Why not? But like, as far as like the entrepreneurial spirit, it's definitely from my grandfather, like seeing where he came from, going back to his village and knowing, the life that he built, and only by doing it by risking. There was no playbook for him. Like, he was the first child to leave his village, the first child to go to college, the first child to become a medical doctor, like all of those things. Like, I think of the things that I worry about and the things that I get anxious about on a daily basis. Like, is the client going to pay, or are we going to get another client? Like, are people going to come to the restaurant? All of those things, nothing compared to what he had to go through.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Joe, you're up. Who are you? What are you working on?
Yeah. Joe here. I help run Revmo AI, a conversational AI platform for restaurants, hospitality groups, and working on launching some great relationships right now. I've had a crazy week last week and this week, and really excited to announce to the world on some of the relationships that we're launching here at Revmo, and some of the unique capabilities that we're going to have with these partners and other providers. I think that's truly the future of this technology, is it being embedded and working with other solutions and other technologies, rather than it just sitting on your phone system, right? How can it be inside of your POS system to interact with the data you have inside of there? How can it interact into your CRM or in your loyalty system to create a better experience for your customer? As Shawn knows, and Maddie and Lauren and everyone else knows, that customer experience is everything that leads to a new customer turning into a loyal customer. Maybe even sometimes can avoid the wobbly table experience, right? And improve that based upon how they were greeted and how they were handled when they're interacting with someone. So really excited about that, and really excited to see what comes to that. And some good content will be coming out of that. I can guarantee that, as being a part of this community and, learning a lot from everyone in this community. I think it's important for all of us and everybody in this industry to share what is working and what is going on, right? Because I think we all trust each other more than we trust the person contacting us or reaching out to us or standing at a booth, right? So excited to start that journey and create that content. I think, I've since I'm really diving into this content creation experience and in story, my question would be, what is really the easiest way to get it out there? What's the easiest way to do it? What's the best way to do it? Rather than just doing it, right? And of course, having peers and having partners like ourselves here is the best. And that's why I asked this question. I think the common logical answer is just go do it. But we know that there's sometimes a better, more efficient way, and using, someone has a lot of experience like Shawn and other people in this community. What are some of the best advice you can give to someone that's starting this content creation journey and this experience, would be my question for you, Shawn.
So I just Stover and I were using AI working on a speech that I'm going to be giving at the US Food Show, but it said code as like an acronym. So create once, distribute everywhere. Create once, distribute everywhere. And like when I think about smartphone storytelling, when I think of like people always asking, how do I start? Like 60 seconds is basically what all platforms want. Like you can go to 90 seconds on Instagram, but like 60 seconds is a YouTube short. 60 seconds is an Instagram reel. 60 seconds works on Facebook. 60 seconds works on LinkedIn. And 60 seconds gets you using video. So it's like, if you can start with 60 seconds timing yourself, like I need to tell a story, I need to get an idea out in 60 seconds. And if you follow Ashwin Kamlani, who's part of this community, who does incredible videos where he's walking and talking behind the Swiss Alps or in Italy, or like most people don't have that, but like it's okay to not have it. Like find somewhere that's different, that's unique to you, and just test different places. Like Laura's been doing a phenomenal job showing up and telling stories on her TikTok account about being a grandmother. And it's super powerful. It's super engaging. We're all super proud of her. But like the best place to start is with 60-second video. And like, if you can do it one a day, fantastic. Like, and literally by one a day, because if you stop or if you don't do it, like you have to make it a part of your habits. And if it's not a part of your habits, checking your email, checking your text, making your calls, then we forget about it. And then you get anxiety and you're like, well, I don't know where to start. It's like, I do a video all the time. Like I do so many videos. Like I don't even know like a day that I've gone where I haven't published a video. Like I don't, I can't remember. But yeah, start with 60-second video. Start talking to the camera, start sharing your ideas, start filming other people that are 60 seconds. But like it's you have to plan, you have to produce, you have to publish, and you have to promote. Those are 4 P's. Plan it, produce it, publish it, promote it. That has to happen, and it has to happen every day, because then it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And Joe, I'll jump in too and thank you, Shawn, for enjoying my corny videos about my little guy.
They're not corny. It's super cool.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm so loving it. And I'll just say TikTok has been surprisingly easy to just, publish from there, because if you just push record, you can save it as a draft and you don't have to publish it if you didn't like it. And it'll give you, I think, a countdown. Like if you choose the 60-second, you can kind of see a countdown clock of like, gosh, I'm running out of time. I better get this out. So that's one. And then Instagram has an app called Edits that also,
that's awesome app.
Awesome I love app. It.
Oh my God. It's Instagram Edits has now become what YouTube analytics are. I don't know, Cam, if you've seen Edits, but like what Edits is doing for like engagement rate, how long you're like, it's phenomenal. It's gotten so like, forget about even if you don't use it for editing, just for the analytics, it's amazing.
But what I like about Edits is that, again, you can kind of keep a running, like I just went to a new restaurant opening today, the Henry. They opened in our little town near Encinitas in Carlsbad, Forum Shops. And I, took a couple videos of walking up, a video of the dining room, the outdoor seating area, the menu board, but I just pushed start, stop, 5 times. And it'll all be there in a row. And then I can just edit out the parts I don't like. So on your phone, that's not as easy if you're just using your camera. But the Edits app allows you to do that. And it's all together. And to me, it makes the editing so fast. I don't spend much time editing at all. I try to do one take or, because I'm not that concerned about it looking super professional. I just want to get it out.
Also, the Edits app has where if you're on Instagram and you're saving videos and you can save them into collections and folders, but the Edits app, it allows you to access those things. So maybe there was a trending audio or a sound that somebody was using that you want to get back to. You can save it within Instagram. When you go to Edits, it's in your saved area, but you can use that audio then and just create your own videos from it. Like I do ones where You just have to drop the video for so many seconds and then the photos like into it type thing. But one thing I found out today when I was playing, because typically when you export and you're using music from Instagram, it removes the music, and it actually, when you click download it, it actually downloaded the audio file with it. Now be careful with that with your businesses and stuff, because you don't want to get in trouble with licensing, blah, blah, blah. You might be able to find that music on the platform of your choice, but like LinkedIn doesn't have that feature, etc. So anyway, definitely check out edits.
Awesome. Thank you. Cam, what's up? You're up. Who are you? What are you working on? And ask me anything.
The Shawn AMA. I like it. Good.
Shawn wait, what did we got to go to the, what did Dean LeBay says? Worm, write once, read many times. There you go.
Nice.
I haven't heard that one, Dean. I like it though.
I'm Cameron. I am a YouTube producer at Cali Barbecue. I'm also in my own stuff, trying to build a gardening education platform online, which is going pretty well. And I'm here every now and again and Shawn asked me about YouTube stuff. So I actually don't know much about edits. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So yeah, I'm not an Instagram expert at all. So I actually learned quite a lot working with Callie about Instagram. So that's been good.
Yeah, we gotta get that gardening omni channel, Cam.
But my plan for Instagram is to hire someone to do it.
Ask for help. Hey, asking for help is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, the creative decisions, humans are still theoretically, better at AI for some of the creative decisions. So I just want to hire someone who's got years of experience would be my plan for that. Yeah. But yeah, that's because it means that I replace myself. I won't be very good at it. So like the idea is to replace yourself and then you'll be someone who's significantly better. I actually have a question for you, Shawn. That's why I'm jumped on. I've always wanted to ask you about this is for the gardening stuff as well. Basically, how did you feel? And what was the process like the first time you approached someone to sponsor and license basically a whole show that you were going to distribute elsewhere? Because for everyone who doesn't, obviously, I think everyone's aware here, but maybe someone's watching, that the deals you have involve someone sponsoring a show and then that show gets distributed. So you have to cut deals with sponsors and then also distributors.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious about that process and like just how was your initial experience trying to navigate that sort of deal and make that sort of thing makes that dream basically come to life.
So I mean, I referenced earlier the Rob Dyrdek clip that you repurposed on our YouTube channel, which like just hearing it again makes me want to go back and listen to the entire episode of like, what did Rob tell me? He told me so much gold, but so much about it was distribution, because Rob partnered with MTV to be his distributor. And once he understood the unit economics of the show, he started doing things that most people, let's say, that work in a radio station or a local TV station, all they do is their role. So there's the on-air talent, like, the news anchor. They get paid to do a job. They don't do any sales. But what made Rob so powerful was that like he owned the show. He owned the license to the show. So he also reached out in a sales capacity to potential sponsors to sell into the show. So like information like that helps me build Cali Barbecue Media and go, well, I have a show. We have digital hospitality. We have a great community that listens to this podcast, watches the shows, engages in the content. But like, if I really want a big partner like Toast, I need to help get them a distribution outlet. So like, I have to go through my contacts and figure out how do I get to a company like Entrepreneur, which, getting to there's so many legacy gardening channels that I'm sure have no YouTube presence that like you could reach out to in a capacity where it's like you're tapping into their email database. Maybe they have, 10,000 or 50,000 email people that get a newsletter about gardening, but they have no YouTube presence. So it's like brokering the deal with somebody that has an existing audience to add something that they don't have, but then figuring out how do I sell into that deal. So it's like, not only are you going to get the distribution, but then you also have to go and find the company that does the soil or the company that does, whatever tool that you're using. Like those companies have so much money and they don't prioritize content creation the way that all of us in this community does.
Nice. And it was it nerve-wracking the first time you had to approach like I guess you was, because for Toast what you did was like earn your way in with making content for them like first, so you already had, it was like warm. It wasn't like a cold approach to like Toast.
Yeah, I mean everything's cold. I mean that's what most people don't like. Toast had no idea who the hell we were, even when we were customers. Like everything you do is cold. So like the benefit of content, which I love so much, is that you can make content. You can prove to somebody that you want to reach out to, this is my love letter to you. Here's a video that we made about your product. Like you don't need to imagine it. Here's the video, and look at how many views we got. Like literally, you can put product placement right now into your mom's videos, and because of that, you can show them this is what it would look like. Imagine what it would look like if we did more videos promoting your product, and we made custom videos just for them.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've done deals before. I've just never done anything like, I've never tried to do anything on that scale where it's like, you are the sponsor of this show, let's build a show, basically using the sponsorship money to build a better show almost.
So yeah, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway that I've learned asking lots of different podcasters, lots of media professionals, is that the problem with podcasters is that we aim too small. Like we're going after thousands when we need to go after tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, because like the thousands of dollars, the ROI isn't there. Like it's not a true partnership for the brand or for the creator.
Yeah, as you found out when someone in Bulgaria quoted you what, $5,000 to film one day or something like that. The cost of production are higher than people realize.
Cost of production is high, 100%. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Let's do tip, takeaway, homework assignment. Elizabeth, you're up.
Sure. Love the code quote, create once, distribute everywhere. Love that.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, really, really good. And then your first answer to my question, and this is a question I think we could keep on repeat when you're about to try to go live and you can't think of anything to say. Why did you do it? Why did you do this thing? Why did you choose that fertilizer, Cam? Why did you start a barbecue business? And so starting to answer the questions that people are asking you on a regular basis. And when you'll end up with a library of answers, like I always farm the FAQ.
FAQ is the gold mine.
And create content around what people are asking. That way, when they ask the question, you can shoot them the video that is the answer to their question. Anyway, but I loved that thing of why did you start Cali Barbecue? And just keeping it super simple and answering the questions, I think is great. Thank you so much for this conversation. Back to you.
Thank you for the idea. Appreciate it. Bruce, you're up.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Laura, for Stable Table. Interesting. While we were listening to this podcast, I plugged that into chat. And in the time I was on this podcast, I have 2 posts ready to go with metaphors using Stable Table for Substack and LinkedIn. So my takeaway is, or my homework is, to get those polished up and posted. Thank you.
Amazing. Good stuff, Bruce. Joe, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Elizabeth there and say, code was really impactful for me. It really gives me a great insight on how to go about this. And so my homework is to implement that. Right. And that's so
one video a day. Video a day.
Yeah. Hold me accountable.
The video on the cloud doesn't count. It actually has to hit the internet.
That's right. There you go. I love it. No,
content in the cloud. Content in the clouds is for the birds.
That's right. That's right.
Get it on the internet. Ian, you're up.
Yeah, my homework is mostly starting to gear up for the California restaurant show. So as Shawn mentioned, so we're getting rolling for that. And for any operators that want to join that don't have tickets, feel free to use our code EHS Recruiting for a free ticket to the show. And We'll look forward to seeing you there.
Look at that. Free bonuses around here following this community. Well done. Thank you, Ian. And thank you, EHS. Appreciate that. Matty Smokes.
Definitely my homework, more 60-second videos, like you said. I'd love to do one a day, but even I'd be happy with 4 a week right now. Got to try out edits. Sounds like it could help out a lot. And spend more time with my kids that are yelling in the background. So.
Yeah, what's up?
Daddy's my favorite.
Thanks, guys.
Daddy's the best. Daddy's the best. Thanks, Maddie. Appreciate you, man. Laura, you're up.
So homework assignments for
Adorable.
myself are to watch that Rob Deerdeck interview, Shawn.
Yes.
Also to see if I can get to the California Restaurant Association show. I know that I was there with you and Troy and Jason a couple years ago, but I'll see if I can
they've done a good job. I mean, from what I can tell, the company that bought it, from Western Food Show to now the California Restaurant Show, they've definitely grown the presence. There seem to be more vendors, more people, but we'll see. It's always been a great show for us.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to get there. And then another tip related to publishing is every time you go on social media, just to scroll, make sure that you publish something. So if you're not ready to post a video, don't go scrolling.
I like it. Fantastic. Thank you, Laura. Cam, you're up. Who are you reaching out to? What's your homework? Who are the companies?
I've got to do the elevator pitch first, I think. But yeah, no, reaching out would be actually taking the action to reach out to some people would be good.
I mean, the easiest thing that you guys can do now is like, what company, like, what are the things that she's using in her videos now? Like, are you calling out?
We've done partnerships like that. It was,
okay.
I'm like you said, be more ambitious. Be like, you know, my ambition is to do like a full series for somebody else and like have them pay in like you do with Toast. That would be really cool. Even if it doesn't fully even if it never really manifests in the way I think it will be a really interesting venture to go forward with and at least have a go at making it happen. Yeah. So that's I think I'm going to work on what the pitch looks like because it's just a rough idea at the moment. So I want to solidify something a bit more. I also need to talk to my business partner to figure out what they're willing to do and stuff like that as well. I definitely want to solidify based on and be more ambitious about it. And the bigger numbers than maybe I'm thinking of.
Amazing. Right on. Well, thank you, everybody. We are taking advice. So we're still going to be doing this once a week, but we are open to different days and different times, which we've never done before. This is, we've always done Wednesdays and Fridays, but we want to pick one day where we can get most of the community together. So I don't know how we're going to go about it, but we're going to let people know on Slack. We're going to let them know on Instagram, through all the chats that we have. But if there is a day of the week that is better for you, if Wednesday at 10 is the best, then we will keep it at Wednesday at 10. But we definitely want, in consideration of the global audience that we have. I know 6 p.m. London time is tough for Rich and Scott and Adam, but they've been showing up anyways. But opening it up to the community, nothing's changing. But if you have any opinions or suggestions, please let us know. Thank you all. We appreciate you, Elizabeth, Bruce, Maddie, Ian, Joe, Laura, Cam, Stephen, Mike. Thank you for producing this over. Catch you guys next Wednesday.
Thanks all.